If you could live green, would you? I'm Nick Federoff, host of Things Green, where we introduce nuggets of green lifestyle from gardening, upcycling, answering your questions, sustainability, even discussing environmental issues. You can become more confident in making the right decisions for you and your family. So come along as we are Things Green. Believe it or not, this right here is a greenhouse and it's solid all the way through. Let's find out what's going on.
Come in.
Can I come in?
Sure, come on in.
All right. Okay. Now, I remember this as a greenhouse that had plastic on the outside, but there's plastic on the inside, but no plastic on the outside. How can you call this a greenhouse?
Well, it's more of a, you're right, Nick, it's more of a grow room now.
A grow room, okay.
Because this helps me control the environment better. In the wintertime, it was getting too cold in here. In the summertime, it was getting too hot. So we actually decided to put a traditional roof on it, insulate it, and then we put Panda film on the inside and siding on the outside. So I can control plus or minus any temperature that you say it should be within 5 degrees.
Wow, and you can get a concussion in here too with how low the lights are.
Yes, sir. Especially with the floor being raised.
Okay, let's start off over here. Looks like we have a seedling area going on over there, right?
Yes.
All right, and one thing that you and I saw you do this one time, and I figured I'm going to be a big old copycatter, is that you were using heating elements underneath because you were getting germination within a day on some of your stuff.
Yep.
I don't see any heating elements right now.
Nope. I actually stopped using the heat pads because everything was getting too leggy.
Oh, too quick.
What I did was I switched to 100% compost in these beds, or in these trays.
No traditional soil at all.
No traditional soil at all. This 100% compost, and then lighting, and I got my light meter set so I know, the seedlings I think are, I don't know what the measure, it's 1,000 lumens or 1,500 lumens or something like that. So I measure the light, set these light bars to the proper depth, and they're still germinating in 3 or 4 days.
So back in the old days, those lights would have been different types of lights than they are right now. Those are LEDs, correct?
Yes.
So are all the lights in here LED?
Yes.
Okay. That's why it's not horribly hot in here. Really humid in here. I feel like I'm in Florida or something. All right, she's got a machine that's right over here, and this machine is making a little bit of racket. It sounds like a fan of some sort.
Yeah, that's actually bringing fresh air into the greenhouse, and it's got a charcoal filter on it, and I can control the speed of it right now because it's summertime. What I found is the fresh air is critical in here. It gets very stale because it's closed. So I have to bring constant fresh air in all the time, and I'm filtering it with a charcoal filter so it's healthy air. That's also bringing CO2 in from the outside.
But wait. It's bringing CO2 in, but yet you have buckets of CO2 in here.
Yes.
Okay, what's the reason behind that?
Well, the CO2 level right now in here is about 400 parts per million. And for proper growing, it should be between 12 and 1,500 parts per million. So these buckets didn't work that great. They worked great. If you saw this 2 months ago when I put them in, I got green plants within like 2 feet of this bucket and 2 feet of that bag. But it wasn't getting the CO2 levels consistent across the greenhouse.
Just not dispersing it.
No. And CO2, I learned, drops, so it doesn't raise up. So I've been playing with, do I put this high up? Do I put it down? Do I put it, right next to the plants? So I've been playing with that, but what I ended up doing is using my compost operation to generate CO2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And we're going to get that into just a little. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, actually,
no, we're standing on it.
You are standing on it.
That's why the floor is so raised.
Exactly.
So you had all this. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, this totally changed. So we're a foot off the ground over here, and this stuff used to be on the ground over there.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
So you decided to bring it over here.
Yes, because the decomposition of organic materials, I learned, creates CO2.
All right, and what type of materials do you have in here to make your compost?
So we have lawn cuttings. You can see we have oak leaves. I actually pruned these tomato plants behind you, and I put those in as
Over here.
as the nitrogen source.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at that.
You got mildew.
Yeah, a
stuff
little
there.
bit. That'll die. Don't worry about it.
This is due for another.
Turning.
It's due for another turning and actually another layer on it. But so what's funny is the sensor, Nick, that we have that's measures CO2 is still showing like 400 or 500 parts per million.
Mm-hmm. And you're reading this off your app, right?
No, I'm actually reading this on a.
Way over there, huh?
Yeah, I'm reading it way over here.
Okay.
I'm actually reading it in two places. But so what happened was, true story is, I started this lasagna composting about 6-8 weeks ago.
And by the way, excuse me, lasagna composting, it's kind of like in the same vein as a lasagna garden where you layer stuff and you don't necessarily turn it.
Nope.
You just layer it and then you layer it and layer it. Okay.
Yep. So I'm not getting the readings from the science in here, but what I'm getting is if you turn around and take a look at that cucumber and you take a look at this rose that was gopher eaten from the front and literally just sticks, and you take a look at this from 2 months ago to now, I know the CO2 levels are fantastic because these things are growing like gangbusters.
Okay, now I see this grid irrigation
Yep.
that you're using over here, and we have nice moist soil. So that works. So have you ever gotten a harvest out of here of any
No.
sort? Okay, not yet. So you're working on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's directly related to the low CO2 levels because as you know, you taught me, CO2 plus sunlight or fake light plus O2 equals photosynthesis.
They have to play nice.
Yeah, and so and that's the challenge with a grow room, is that I have to get those all perfectly in balance to make fruit crops, any kind of crops.
Now, speaking of the sunlight or the artificial light that we have in here, is this lit up 24/7 or do you turn them off?
These are on timers, so the plants in here in the grow beds get about 12 hours a day of light of 6,000 Kelvin, and they're placed strategically at the right height because I measure the light to the plants, and they shut off the seed trays, and that's probably one of the secrets, is they get 16 hours a day when I'm propagating seeds.
Okay. Now this area right here, I've seen activity in here before.
Yeah.
And we've got peppers and tomatoes and what else? Anything else?
Peppers, tomatoes, and then we have bell peppers that I seeded. And we've got 3 different kinds of peppers. We have serranos, jalapenos, and habaneros.
Okay.
And we just picked a crop, but you can see.
Oh, look at that. Look how pretty that is. Look at the shininess on that. That's gorgeous.
And you can see there's more coming. These peppers, I'll tell you what, Nick, I had so much trouble getting peppers to grow, and I really wanted them for Maria. And now she keeps telling me, can you please stop? Because I think I've harvested, here's another one. That's a serrano. I probably harvested 100 peppers in here over the last 2 weeks. So it's been a challenge. And you can see I just pruned these back. And like you were saying, I pruned them back, and now they're putting energy into all these blossoms. In less than a month, these are all going to be peppers. This thing's going to be drooping down with the weight of that.
So I did a.
Oh, actually.
In fact, I did a. Oh, what do we have?
So this is 774 parts per million now on CO2. So we keep it about 75 to 80 degrees, and we keep it about 80% humidity. That's why it feels like Florida in here.
It does like
No offense to Florida, by the way. I love Florida.
No offense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you have other fans and heaters. That's a heater and a fan.
Yeah, that heater is also connected to the sensor, so that when it gets colder, it turns on. And there's several heaters around here that do that.
This one in particular, that actually comes out of Germany.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I know the guy. I know the guy that invented that.
Oh.
That particular thing. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. They work well.
So your peppers, not that I have sticky fingers, but he was giving away some seeds at a trade show, and I pocketed a couple of packets, and I filmed a TV show recently, and harvesting out of the thingsgreen.com botanical gardens, and then I took them into my greenhouse, not my grow room. I took them my jealous, yes I am, and so I cut it open, and then I ate the pepper. Oh my, talk about spicy. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why I only have half eyebrows going on over here, because the other half just jumped off of my head. Okay, so we have the plants that are growing over here. That side is getting all the CO2. That's the side that we have the growth activity, but without the seeds can be fine, the light can be fine, but if you don't have the right kind of soil, you need that foundation.
Yeah.
It's just a principle in life. You need a proper foundation in order for the plants to grow, and that kind of starts behind you.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that. And I've seen this change a lot.
Yes.
I mean, change a lot. Oh, before I forget,
mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can't bring a picture up, but I have a picture of this particular plant right here, and there must have been 1,000 praying mantids.
Yeah.
Or praying mantis. Praying mantises.
There you go.
Not mantis, because those are
manti.
Anyway, so do you have any more of those hanging around in here?
So they are in there.
Themselves?
Well, no, they are in there, and that's one of the reasons I haven't pruned this back, because there are still about probably 500 babies in there somewhere. It takes them about 9 months to get full size, and the crazy thing is they live about 3 months and then die.
Go figure, huh?
Yeah. So I have to start some more babies now. I don't know where they are. I haven't gotten up there because the plant
they're
hospital.
itty-bitty.
The plant hospital has kind of taken over everything that's going on. You get those orchids for your birthday or what have you, and then they die off. So I decided I was going to save those, and we've got new growth on them. These are the boysenberries from the front that I saved. That avocado's gone.
See how he did that? The ones that he saved. If you watch another show that we did, he was very clear that I was the one that trampled all over his boysenberries, and then he just said that he brought them from the front and saved them.
Saved them from Nick Fedoroff. Yeah. And this is a hydrangea. This is actually our cousin gave this to us, and she passed away from COVID a few months later. So this is actually the baby. This came off the main hydrangea, which is planted outside. So this is the baby I've been growing in here. And then more cucumbers, and I'm still working on some other orchids. That's my vermicomposting bin.
Okay, if we open it, is it be kind of nasty in there?
No.
Oh, okay, come on over here.
Cool.
Now, Serena loves worms, don't you, Serena? All right, check this out. Look at check this out. These are just literally the baby ones too. Mm-hmm. Here, look at that. Look at that. They're jumping all over the place. You know, your kids would love something like that. I love taunting her.
Well, and what we've done is we've added, we put compost in here, and then down here below, and I won't uncover it, but there's food waste in here from the kitchen, and these guys eat it, and it creates what?
Vermicompost. Poo. Worm poo.
Yeah, exactly. Liquid, or not liquid gold, but gold.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, isn't that great? She's going to love editing this, by the way. Chances are she's going to put smiley faces on everything. And
yeah. So that's what we got going on.
You got to keep them inside. You know, there was a guy one time in the valley, and he was selling these because each one of these worms, in maturity, when they start making babies, they'll each egg has. Oops, I dropped them. Each egg will carry 9 babies inside an egg.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you want to make a lot of money, you find the eggs in here, and they're little tiny, they're little tiny little balls, and they're kind of translucent. And if you collect an ounce of them, back in the day, they were like they were taking them and harvesting them and sending them to, it was either China or Japan, for $250 an ounce, and it's a culinary cuisine.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyway, yeah, that guy, but way back then, he was selling the worms for 25 cents a piece. It's amazing. It's just amazing. All right, so this right here is, this is the compost, isn't it?
Yes.
This is where a lot of the stuff that's going on in here. Got activity going on there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we have anything in here? Finished
We do.
product?
I believe there's finished product in there. Yeah, I've got to figure out how to get
don't
to
worry
it.
about
Yeah.
it. It's too much. Too much.
But this just started last weekend.
Okay, so last weekend we start putting in all types of different material in here, and we have pine needles and we have leaves and other kind of stuff. And if you look at this, look what's happening here. We have almost 80 degrees inside of that thing. Now, how do you get it so hot?
Well, it actually hasn't even started heating up because my goal for this is to get it to about 130, 140 degrees because that'll kill all of the bad bacteria and bad, what, juju?
Yeah, bad juju.
Bad juju.
Yeah, all the little beasties.
Yeah, so that's a good thing because it'll kill all there's weed seeds in here and all kinds of stuff. So we get it up to 130, 140 degrees for like a week.
Yeah.
And then it cools down. So I need to get some more water on this to get it activated better. Mm-hmm. But still, 80 degrees is not bad.
Now look how long this is.
Yeah.
That's just amazing. And even this is warm.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, so you're taking this and you're getting your reading, not like those little gauges that we use to test our water and other things like that. We're getting right into the center of this because the core is what we're looking at.
Yep.
And how big are these? These are 3x3?
These are 4x4x4.
4x4x4. So we're sticking that in. That's put a little too far right there. And we can tell that this is coming right back up. Okay. Oh, we have a different kind of gauge over here.
Yeah, I've got a digital gauge here. This is well into the decomposition phase. Mm-hmm. And you can see all kinds of critters in here. These piles grow a lot of earthworms.
Now, are you putting the earthworms in there, or are they just coming in naturally?
They come in naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they coming in from outside, or are they coming in for this material?
I think they're coming in from this material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
because we're taking grass clippings, we take dry leaves, all kinds of different things.
So you're just like, this one has, looks like clippings in there that were in there. And this is just all from your front yard and the backyard over there.
Yep. We actually have too much material. We have bags and bags on the hillside here, waiting to be cycled in here to start decomposing. And this is, 3 to 5 month process in the bins or the bays, and it's about a 9-month process on the lasagna method to actually get it fully.
Because it is a slower.
It's a slower process because you're not. I use some organic materials. Like I use fish hydrosylate, and I use something called EM1, and I use compost extract, and I drench the piles with that to aid in the decomposition.
Well, that's kind of a process. I guess we would call that inoculating. Mm-hmm. We're inoculating the compost piles, and as a matter of fact, you don't have to get all this fancy schmancy stuff that he's doing. And what's ironic about this, by the way, this is all indoors. This is not being done outdoors, and it doesn't stink. That's the other thing. So when you inoculate with stuff, or if you want your compost pile to really get going, and you want those kind of good bacteria to help break stuff down, it's actually not the end of the world to go out into your yard and just grab a shovel full of dirt.
Yeah.
And you throw that. Your dirt is alive. Your soil is alive. You get that in, you throw it into your compost mix, you throw it into your grass. And by the way, it's really important. We showed the grass clippings over here, and as you can tell, I mean, he says he has a whole bunch in the back over there. You can't use, you can, but it's not good practice to use just the grass clippings. You have to use some brown material, like the leaves, to help break it up, because that's the way you're going to get the carbon to start to work on this thing and to break down properly, and it'll break down faster. If you use only the grass clippings, it's going to get mushy, it's going to spoil unless you're constantly mixing it. And who's got the time to do that?
Well, and by the way, if you've got nitrogen-rich materials like grass clippings and you leave them out, the nitrogen is going out into the air as it dries out. So that's one of the reasons we do this layering process. So we'll start with a brown layer, and then it's a 3-to-1 ratio. Three pieces of brown, 1 piece of green. So typically I'll use these boards for my measurement.
Oh.
And I'll put brown material on 2 boards, and then I do a thin layer of green or nitrogen, and then I'll do brown on top of it, and we always finish with brown. I will tell you that I built this pile last Sunday. It was right at the top.
Oh, it's composted that far.
So it's already broken down a foot.
Now, how much water are you waiting?
How much water am I putting in there?
You're putting in there.
So the only thing I've done so far is I drenched each layer. I made 35 gallons of drench when I started this. And I used my sump pump and a hose. And as I was building the layers, I drenched the layers.
Okay.
And built it up. So I used about 35 gallons to start it. And since it's a little bit cold to me, I mean it's 80, but a little bit cold, I'm probably going to water it again this weekend, and it'll spark it up.
Now, are you turning this at all?
I will turn it after about a month to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I'll turn it this will take about 3 months to be fully cooked. And you've seen the evidence of that around the property, but I'll probably turn it 3 times.
Okay, so it's not that often at all?
No. And literally turning is as simple as I just take all the material out and I put it right back in.
Okay, so being the ninja gardener that you are, would you recommend people jumping into this haphazardly, or should they do their homework?
No, this is this is not for the faint of heart. This is, I mean, you know that this has been a huge scientific experiment for me. I will say that setting up composting, this is the kind of fancy high end of composting, but literally a hole in the ground and these layers of materials. You probably want to put a piece of plywood on top of it because the critters do like to get in here. I had a pretty healthy population of rats in here, even inside. So you want to cover it with a piece of plywood or mesh or something like that to keep the critters out. But you can dig a hole in the ground. You can also, we have barrels here that, we have barrels here that we can do a 35-gallon garbage can with holes in it, and you can do layering in this and accomplish similar things.
And that's enough oxygen to get through there.
Right. The trick is, for really good decomposing and real good compost, you really need 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot minimum. This doesn't cook as well in my experience. I know there are people that do this a lot, but we get a lot of success with our 4 by 4 by 4.
And pallets are typically that large, 4 by 4 by 4. So if you wanted to, in fact, my compost bins, they are made out of pallets. I've got businesses in my neighborhood that they actually throw the pallets away. So I have no problem going out there doing a little bit of trash digging and getting the pallets, and we just put them up, and and I do the no-till method as well. Why? Because I'm lazy. That's the reason why I do that.
Not hardly.
Well, listen, thank you very much for letting us invade your privacy over here, man. This is really exciting stuff, and this is taking gardening to a different level. So appreciate the motivation and sharing that love that you have for the world of gardening with us.
You're very welcome, Nick. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on another excursion of Things Green. Our goal is to educate, inform, and entertain so you can become exposed to a green lifestyle inside and outside of the home and community, all on your terms. Join me next time right here as we help you with things green.